Hello everyone, this is Satvik, and in this video we'll discuss about hashing as well as hashes. So without getting any delay, let's dive into the video. So guys, hashing is a process in which you provide some input into a function, a hash function preferably, and then it provides you a hash value. So here some key points to be discussed are, so let me open my notepad. So you provide a value, so whether it could be name or anything like that, into a hash function, then it produces a hash value, right? So this is the basic thing that goes on. And the one important thing is the value size can be of anything. Suppose let's take Satvik as the thing, and it would be of 7, but the hash value that is produced passing through the various hash function will be always uh, limited, okay? Or even though how big value you provide or how small value you provide, it will be always the fixed length. Okay, so this is the key point to be remembered. And the reason why I'm covering this particular concept is whenever you play CTFs or any kind of thing, you encounter this kind of hashes everywhere. So in every CTF, like normal CTFs, not attack based CTFs like on Hack the Box or Try Me. So there are some CTFs out there on Pico CTF and etc etc. If you went there, you will definitely find these kinds of thing, like they provide you a hash and they ask you to decrypt that thing. Okay, so this hash function, so this is everything regarding hash and hashing. Okay, hash value as well as hashing. So now we'll discuss about how to identify a hash, or how you can get, so how you can decrypt or anything like that. So before that, you need to remember some few points, like hashing is always one way. So if you provide Satvik, so let me take an online editor for you, SHA or MD5 hash generator. Let's show you in practical way so that you can understand it in better way, right? So there are many generators out there, so let me take you Satvik. And always as and this MD5 is nothing but an algorithm. It is named as message digest, so its abbreviation is message digest. And like this, there are many algorithms like SHA-256 secure hashing algorithm series is there, like from 1 to 256 there are some values, there are some algorithms over there, and there are many kind NTLM hashes and etc etc. So these are algorithms, basically an algorithm, and we don't need to focus on how these algorithms are used in order to generate stuff. Okay, so I provided an input as Satvik. Let me click on generate. You can see that length over here. So let me copy this and let me paste that over here, right? And even though you change a k over here, and if you click on generate, as I told you previously, that the length remains of the length, the hash length remains constant every time. Okay, if you take SHA, it is of different length, and for MD5 it is different length, and the length is also dependent upon the algorithm that is being used, like MD5 SHA series or anything like that. So this is the first thing. And the next thing you need to remember is, and one way, as I told you, you can only generate a hash and you can't generate the value from the hash. Okay, and there are some ways how you can do that. I will let you know in the upcoming part. So, and the second one is, you don't need a key. See, if you are familiar with something called as encryption and decryptions, so what happens is you provide a key and the text gets encrypted, and once the receiver gets that and he uses the same key or different key or any key and he tries to decrypt that. But hashes doesn't require any key, they only require the input as their need. Okay, you don't need to provide any kind of key or anything like that. Okay, so that's the thing. And third one, it is everywhere. You figure it out everywhere. You figure it out everywhere. So I'll show you where you can figure that out as well. So let me show you something like, let's go to our favorite website, Kali Linux. So if you go to Kali Linux website, you can see something called like downloads. Let me go to the downloads over here, and let me choose this kind of thing, anything. Let me choose anything, and here you can see something like hashes over there. Let me come back over here, and let me go a little bit. Yeah, you can see something like sum over here. So this sum is nothing but the hash over here. You can see this hash. So the reason why the hash is the hashing or the process of hash is used is in order to uh, provide integrity. See, let's think you are downloading a file, and in the meantime, someone hacker in your network try to replace the file with some malicious kind. Then how would you definitely find that out? So with the help of hash, as I told you, every value or every file or anything else has a different hash every time. So if there is a small change in a value, let's think if you take if you take a file and if you add a small comment, the hash changes there. Okay, so it basically provides the integrity of the data. Okay, so that you can verify whether this is the file that you are working on, or you can find out whether there is any kind of modifications being done. So these are some main things regarding hashing, as well as regarding hashing. Okay, so it is only a one-way process. You can decrypt a hash. Okay, you don't need a key. You simply need to provide an input, and input can be a file format as well. It can be an ISO file, it can be a text file, or it can be a string, or it can be anything else. Okay, and it is everywhere, it is used everywhere. I had also shown you a live example where it is being used. So once you download this thing, you can try to find out the hash. Okay, try to find out the hash of the ISO you had downloaded, and you can verify both of them. Okay, so that's the thing, so that you have some feeling like your data haven't got changed on the fly. Okay, so now we will see how you can generate hashes, as well as we'll see how you can identify a hash, and also the process of decrypting a hash. So guys, now as discussed previously, we'll see how you can generate a hash value. So there is a tool called as Hashcalc, and this is right now I'm showing this on Windows, and there are many tools like this on every other platform, whether it could be on Linux or anything else. Okay, so this is an application. I'm showing a normal application. You can try to generate it on from various means. Okay, so here you can see the data format, guys. You can provide a file or the text string or a hex string. So let me provide a string over here. Let me click on calculate here, and you can see the hash value of this particular data in various formats. As I already told you, these are some hashing algorithms, right? So I don't know some of them and you two don't even it is not required to need everything. As always, not only a text, you can also provide a file. Let me go to something. So okay, you can generally it's on system32. Really sorry for that. Let me go to my desktop. Let me open something, and let me click on calculate, and this is the hash value of a particular PDF file. Okay, so like this you can generate hashes for any files, and if you are downloading anything from internet, you can verify your particular hash that you obtain versus the hash that is being maintained on that site, right? So this is how you can create a hash, or you can generate a hash using an application, one application, but there are several applications. You can do check them out. So guys, now we are into an interesting part, and this is the most important part, and this part you encounter in various CTF kind of things. So what they provide you is they provide you a normal a hash value. That doesn't provide you what algorithm is being used or anything like that. And also guys, this question is being little bit direct, okay, but in CTFs you might have an indirect question as well. So I got a hash value. Let's think I got a hash value. I don't know what the kind of hash it is. So in Kali Linux, there is a tool called as hash identifier, right? So this particular tool is such a good tool. It if you provide a hash ID, I simply provide the hyphen hyphen help, but there is nothing like that. You can simply provide the hash identifier, and if you click enter, you are done. You can provide the hash that you obtain, whether it could be from anywhere else, and simply hit enter, and it is going to show you out all the possibilities of what this hash belongs to. You can see it is the possible hash is MD5, and yes, it is MD5. This is the one previous recently I generated. You can see like that. Okay, if you go to the SHA-1 generator, hash generator, and we'll try to generate a hash over here. Let me go back. Let me click on generate once again. Let me obtain the SHA-1 hash. And let me try to paste that again. Control Shift V, let me hit enter, and you can see we got the possible hashes as SHA-1. So this is this particular tool is really helpful in order to find out what type of hash that you are that you obtained. Okay, so yep, so that is the thing. And next video, and then in the next part we'll see how we can decrypt the stuff. So guys, now we are into the final part of the video, and now we'll see how there are various tools out there in order to crack a hash, and we'll discuss how these tools work. So as I previously told you that hash is a one way, right? You can't try to obtain the value from this particular hash that you got, but then how it is done? Let's think this particular thing. Let me obtain a hash over here. So let's take this hash. Okay, so there are many tools like Hashcat, John the Ripper, and many tools like that. I'm only mentioning the few. These tools try to crack these hashes, and they try to provide you this particular input that is being provided. So then how it is done? As we already discussed, that it's only one way. So how it is done is, so they have a word list. They have a word list. So word list is a file which consists of all the strings or all the values, and then what they try to do is they take one by one, and they try to hash that thing, and they compare that particular hash that they obtain with the thing that they previously got. Okay, if the both are equal, then it concludes that this particular the cracked version of this particular hash is nothing but Satvik. Okay, so it takes a word list as an input, and then it takes one by one word, and it converts to the hash that is of the type that we provide there, and then it tries to compare. Okay, it tries to compare the hash that is already there, and also the hash that is obtained from the word, or any value that is obtained from a word list, and it is trying to compare it, and comparison is equal to like double equal to point of thing if you are a little bit into programming. And then once it is done, you can obtain your hash. And there is one more catch, like you can't always crack hashes. Not possible. You can't always crack the hashes, because see, the only thing that is dependent in order to crack a hash is you need to have a strong word list. Let's think, if in your word list there is nothing like Satvik, okay, then how can you crack it? There is no way you can crack if there is no entry in that word list which is related to that hash. Okay, so it is dependent. But coming to some like challenges or capture the flag tournaments, they intentionally provide you the hashes that are available out there. Like if you simply use the rocku.txt file, then you can definitely crack that particular hash. Okay, so guys, that is it, everything regarding hashes, and how you can decrypt them, how you can create a hash, or how you can generate a hash, as well as how you can identify a hash. Okay, so I hope you find this video really helpful. And also, now coming to the end part, so I had seen many comments coming over there on my YouTube. So I had seen some comments like they only appear in the notification panel, but I was unable to find out on the video. I don't know the reason. It would be definitely a bug with the YouTube, and if you really face that kind of issue, I'm really sorry. But if you want to mention anything or anything like that, consider my Discord server, or if you want to meet me personally, or if you want to connect with me personally, LinkedIn and Twitter are the best places. Links are in the description below. So that is, guys, that is it for everything for today. Really thank you for watching this video, and this video is like continuation for the basic cryptography video that I made in the past. I hope you really find this video helpful. This is Satvik signing off, and I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you.